Leo, enough. No, no, no.
Okay. Good evening, folks. We're starting our land use meeting tonight, September 12th. For my voice is kind of cracking. For the public members, everyone's going to be muted when it's time to speak or you need to speak. There's a way at the bottom of your screen to raise your hand, or if you raise your hand in the video thing, some way to indicate that you want to make a comment. We'll unmute you and proceed with that way. Otherwise, we're going to start our meeting. Robin, can you do roll call?
Heck.
Or
Sure. Let's see, Larry Bender,
present?
Patrick McGibney,
Present.
Robin McPeak, I'm here. Sue Morgan Saylor is excused. Lindy Owen,
Present.
Becky McFarland,
Present.
and Julie Tacker. There's Julie.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So that's everybody. We have a quorum. The announcement I'd like to make is we've been having issues with our webpage and getting information out to the public. We are working on that. We have new members. Later, we'll be discussing this, but I'd like to ask everybody, please stand by with us as we try to work through this so we can get our message out to the public and get public input back about our projects. Committee members' announcements. Julie, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I have a real problem with how this was handled. I understand that there's some technological difficulties, but the agenda is not on the website, or wasn't until, I don't know if it's just got put on there, but it wasn't properly noticed, in that there was a lot of time for any members of the public to learn about tonight's meeting. Additionally, I was just looking for the packet for the Childers Project, and that is not attached to the website under our committee page. So again, the public's at a disadvantage. These projects are going to go to LOCAC, and I would just say that the committee should just forward all of it to LOCAC because of the technical difficulty, and that there's really no public. I see Eve is here, Emily's here, Dave and Bev are here, but they're kind of insiders. Someone has shared the agenda with them. But anybody who was going to the LOCAC agenda or the LOCAC land use spot on the website would not have found an agenda. So if I could be so bold, I would make the motion that these all move forward to LOCAC in 2 weeks, whatever the date is, and let these people be heard by the full LOCAC on the 22nd.
Okay, thank you for your comment there. Patrick, I see your hands up.
Thank you. Julie, we're not voting on those two issues that William Hurley has brought to us. We're only going to be voting on the vacation rental today. Everything else is going to be coming back to us when they have more information. Today, they're just trying to get a feel for their projects and if they could move forward with them if they brought them back to us. So that's my understanding of what those two projects are. So I don't think we need to have them move forward to the LOCAC at this time.
Okay, Lindy, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I'm muted.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to say, I pretty much agree with Julie. This is very frustrating if you're the public and you're trying to get into watching and being part of these meetings to not have it posted. It's supposed to be posted 72 hours in advance. It's supposed to be posted in public. These are things that have just slid off the radar over the last couple of years. And it's just sort of defeating what our big purpose is to work with our public. So I also am confused. I'd like to know, are we accepting this new technique where we get to see part of a project incomplete and say, looks good to us, and then it comes back and then we make a more serious decision once we have data? I think that needs to be defined. I've never seen this before, and it's now we're on our third project or something that is sort of for our opinion. And I understand that the the people that are trying to get the permits spend a lot of money and sometimes get turned down, but some of that's on the county. They could let them know ahead of time, but I kind of agree with Julie that either we postpone it and see it at the next meeting, or we go ahead and send it to the full LOCAC. But we need to public notice, and if we don't do that, we're not doing our job. So I don't know how other people got information. I
Okay.
couldn't.
Lindy, can you send this, your thoughts and stuff to me as an email? So I can talk to our
Tech person.
tech person. You know,
Communications.
yeah, communications people, you know, and convey to them, you know, some of the issues that we're having.
Well, one issue is that there's 72% used up of storage on just our land use. So where are our documents going to get? I understand you have to go to YouTube to look them up. I don't know where the list for YouTube is. I don't know how to find it. You know, a meeting 4 months ago, and those are, I mean, I've tried to talk with Tom a little bit. I think we need to have a general meeting to talk about what the needs are for the website, because it's not meeting them.
Okay, again, that's why I'm asking you to put it down, you know.
I did already once, and
Not
you
to
know.
me, though, not to me. You know,
I believe I sent it to the whole LOCAC.
Well,
Okay.
these will
I'll
also
have
be,
to go back and look.
these will also be included in the minutes that I'm going to be writing.
and we will pass it on and see if we can get this worked out. It's something we have to do.
Yeah, both you and Julie are correct in your assumptions on this, and this isn't the way it should be working. But we are going through a change right now of members and someone that is redoing our webpage, and it's not really working out for the benefit of most people. So that will be discussed.
Good.
Okay, Dave and Bev, or well, this is committee members' announcements. Dave and Bev, if you can wait just a minute, we will come to the public comment and we'll take your requests. Any other comments from committee members or announcements? I'd also like to make that Save the Quest Out, Save the Questa Inlet. They've got their 401k or whatever it is,
501c3.
nonprofit thing, and they're trying to raise money, and it's a very worthwhile project. So everybody should chip in and help support them, and that for that. Becky, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I had a question about, there's that field trip tomorrow about a new trailhead or something. And is that a land use?
No, that's transportation. It got put
Oh,
in the
okay.
wrong place.
Okay,
That's again, the issues we're having problems with.
okay, that's fine. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna open it up to public comment. Dave and Bev, I saw you had your hand up. We got to unmute you. There.
This is Bev. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Bev.
Okay. Just for the record, we emailed Larry and Larry was kind enough to send us to where we could get the agenda for tonight. So he has a magic touch, I guess. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say is that in recent land use meetings, we've seen instances when it seems recusal from voting might have been called for. And I was wondering if the committee might consider drawing up a procedure or rules or something regarding recusal on certain projects. And that's up to you. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Patrick?
Bev, what do you mean by a recusal? What are you considering?
He's been muted now.
Bev, you're muted. Can we unmute Bev?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Hey, Dave and Bev, can you unmute?
I have the wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. Let me see. What it was in. Could you ask your question again, Patrick?
When you're talking about recusal, what are you considering? I mean, what?
I'm sorry, the context. When you're actually voting on a project, if somebody has been involved in
You have a conflict of interest or something.
yeah.
Right.
Because
Okay.
I've seen it both ways. There was a recusal that I thought was really appropriate, and another one that I really questioned. So that's why I thought maybe there might be a policy. Thank you.
We're going to be reworking our bylaws.
Okay,
So
good.
that's going to be a conversation.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments from the public? Okay, thank you all. Approval of minutes from our last meeting. Did anyone look at them? I looked at them.
Well, I wrote them, so
Okay, you wrote them.
I will make a motion that we approve them, but somebody's going to have to second that also.
Lindy's got her hand waving.
Okay.
So that was a second.
Okay.
All in favor? All in
Hold on.
favor?
I think
No
Lindy had a
comments.
comment.
Yeah, I had a comment about the minutes. One, I'm not sure how we go through, and I got listed as a public representative, which there's 4 of us on the committee, so I would like that removed. I'm a member. I'm a community member, and if you're going to put it in front of me, then you can put it in front of every other community member. So
Okay, so I said representative, not member, community member.
So I was gonna write it, but there's Julie Tacker is listed. She is not listed as a public representative. The only person that is me.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'd like it removed.
Yeah, I will change that and put you as a community member. That was my oversight.
You don't even have to put that in front because I'm on the front as a community member. Those of us that are on as community members of land use. At the very beginning, it
The
says
public
public
members,
members. Or put it in front of every public member then. I feel like that.
she feels singled out.
Okay.
I don't want to be the only one that's, we're all one thing or we're the other. So
Right, okay.
thank you.
I think I have you listed as a public member. On the August 1st minutes?
On page 1 of 4, it says it's item 6. Public representative Lindy Owen doesn't believe she
right,
understands
right,
the full
right, right.
scope. And I don't believe I said that. I said, I don't believe that land use understands the full scope, but I'll leave the rest of it. But I want that public representative thing line.
All right, so I'm just looking at the minutes right now on August 1st. That's the meeting that we're talking about. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, on page 1, I have you listed under public members along with Robin, Sue, and Julie. And then on number 6, I have approved minutes. Sue Morgenthaler made a motion to approve, and Larry Bender second all and all approved. So I don't see where I have you listed anywhere in there on number 6.
This is getting kind of time consuming. It was page 1 of 4 because they're not listed. It was after Chairperson Larry Bender comments that he 110% supports. Hope is not trying to hide anything. Then it goes number 7, public rep Lindy
Okay.
Owen doesn't believe she understands the full scope.
Okay, why don't you and I talk about this after the meeting.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so moving along, no other public comment. We'll get that corrected. Approve of the minutes. Did we get a vote on that? All in favor of approving the
Aye.
minute with the correction about Lindy?
With some kind of correction.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it's definitive.
We'll work that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just in case you're all wondering, I heard a dog bark in somebody else's background. I have a very excited football fan in my background. So if you hear him yelling.
Well, it's the same.
Which is
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, so I can't shut him up. I can't.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Okay, so our first agenda item is the Childers family for a vacation rental. And I see you folks are here, Candace. and
Unmute you.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Virtually.
Would you
Can
like
you
to give us a quick description of your project?
Yeah, we're applying for a minor use permit for vacation rental. We've reviewed all the ordinance with county and we're in compliance with all of those. And is there anything specific you need to know about the project or want to know that I can go over with you guys?
One of the big things is will you be leaving your house if you rent this as a vacation rental?
I think for the vacation rental permit, you have to be off site to rent it. So for us, our goal is to rent it my husband's a fireman. So our goal is to rent it part-time to cover the expenses of our mortgage when we sometimes go and stay a bit closer to his duty station. So for us, it will be something where I don't think we'll completely forfeit the home as a vacation rental. We'd like to still come back to it and call it our own some of the year. I grew up in Osos and I love Osos, so I don't think we'll ever fully detach from our property, but our hope is to be able to rent it out part of the year and get it so our family can be a little closer together when my husband's working a lot. So
Mostly during fire season.
Yeah, yeah.
The main concern is if there was an issue at the house, to be able to contact somebody who could immediately respond.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Party or,
Totally.
noise ordinance or,
Yeah. So I have family who lives like 2 minutes away and they actually used to do property management. So they're a great resource. So I could see them filling in for that. And if that doesn't work, we can always hire a property management company. We're kind of at like the beginnings of this process, obviously. So we don't have that set in stone yet, but we'll definitely have nearby property management to mitigate any issues that could arise, whether it be, whatever it could be.
okay, that's just the main concern,
Yeah, that will totally be in place.
Somebody's there to handle it.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable hosting without having someone to like be there to mitigate any issues.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Any other questions from members of the committee?
Becky has her hand up. Let me unmute her. There you go. Hey, Becky, can you unmute? Perfect.
Yeah, I did. My question is this house has been a vacation rental in the past? Someone-
I don't think it's ever been permitted as a vacation rental
Okay.
that I know of. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lindy Owen has her hand up.
Okay, Lindy?
Yeah, I'm a little confused now. I thought that you would be staying in it, and then I know that there's a small apartment. Marcia Munson is an old friend that lived there for
Nice.
years.
I
You know
love
her
that.
probably.
Yeah, I love the
And
Marshall.
so is the vacation rental going to be the entire property, the 2 units, or are you going to just use that little apartment that they had?
Yeah, so the county told us that we need to pick part of the property that the vacation rental permit will apply to. We haven't quite decided what part we will apply it to, but I believe it will apply to the part that the Marshes used to live in, and we'll use that as the
The
vacation
Marshes.
rental.
Okay, that's great. I think it's a great place to vacation.
Thank you. Yeah, we love the Marshes. So
We love the marshes too.
they're sweethearts. Yeah.
We do.
Well, the one that's still around, sweet, but yeah,
They both were. They
Yeah.
both are.
totally. We love them. They were great renters.
Any other questions from members of the committee? I did a map search thing to make sure there was no other vacation rental within 500 feet of you, and you cleared that perfectly. So there's no problem with that. Any questions from members of the public? Robin, you seeing anything?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, would anybody like to make a motion on this project?
Oh, wait, Emily.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Emily now has raised her hand.
okay.
Emily,
Emily?
Sorry, it took me forever to find the little hand to raise. I just wanted to say, so this last week, as the Los Osos Fire Safe Council representative, was copied on a letter from residents in Los Osos, and it's great to hear that this couple, one of you is a firefighter, so I'm sure you're very prepared for emergencies, but it came to my attention and our station chief's attention about a homestay property in Los Osos. And some neighbors had some very serious concerns because there's a fire pit and it's left smoldering in a Baywood neighborhood, and just some various things going on. So I just wanted to raise awareness, not necessarily particularly for this case, but these are some of the things, because we have such kind of not persistent, if you will, kind of oversight or enforcement of personal kind of rental Airbnbs, et cetera. So, and it's great to hear that they'll have management, but it might be something LOCAC really wants to think about with when reviewing these things. Are these properties prepared not only with the right, extinguisher type of equipment, or recommendations for, wet and stir. And I'm sure, there's 100 things that you could go into, but it was a little bit eye-opening for me to read this letter from neighbors about what they've been living with a rental, Airbnb vacation rental. So that's all I had to say. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Very important issues you bring up, and I'm sure they've heard that, and should bring that up with other possible vacation rentals that come to us again.
I'll make the motion.
Go ahead, Julie.
I'd like to move that the Land Use Committee recommend approval on the consent calendar for the final LOCAC on September 22nd.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a second. Any other comments or questions? If not, let's vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Signify by
Aye.
hand. Somebody make an account of all the hands up.
I think it's unanimous.
bye.
Try the
Unanimous?
nose. Any nose?
Any no's?
No,
Easier to
no.
count those? Nope. Okay, folks, this is going on the consent agenda to our land use, not to the LOCAC meeting, which again is the 22nd of this month, Thursday at 7 p.m. It'd be nice if you guys showed up again on Zoom
Yeah, I'll be there.
in case there was any questions or anything, but
No problem.
good luck.
Thanks,
you.
we'll take
Appreciate that.
it. Have a good evening, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Night.
Bye.
Okay, Mr. Hurley, I see you're there. You're the next project's coming up.
Okay.
Asked on mute.
Yeah.
Mute.
There we go. Hi, Bill.
Oh, he's muted again.
Got muted again, Bill. Hang on. There
There.
you go.
Got it?
Do you want video or no video?
It's fine.
Don't care.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And then I don't know if any of the folks on either of these projects are here with you, Bill, but you want to give a short description of, oh, there's the Hedgecocks.
I'll unmute them. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the Hedgecock project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's down on Mitchell Drive.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi, Bill.
the owners. Okay. What we have is a project that was put in process a couple of years ago by the prior owners. And we had conceived adding a garage in the front portion of the lot and a second story on top of it. The Washmiths, those were the former clients. They were looking at a space for people to come in for their expanded family on weekends. We did a pre-app meeting and the setbacks are fine. We went to the extent of having the soils report redone. The location of the additional garage or the reconfigured garage is on top of an area that was required in the late 80s for separation of their septic of the leach fields. So they've had this flat parking spot in front of the lot for all this time. And we had it analyzed for the soils report because the area over there does have high groundwater and liquefaction is a consideration. We got the okay from the soils people and we proceeded with a second story design, and the Watchmans decided to buy a house in Napoma. So the current owners, the Hedgecocks, contacted me because I was on the list of the folks that did the drawings for them and went through the first pre-application meeting. So we're back again. The folks have a necessity for a music studio of the garage. And it fits the height requirements currently and the percentages of coverage. So we're just seeing where we can go. Instead of expending a whole lot of money going through the entire first part of the county process, I thought, well, we did do the pre-app meeting for the project, so maybe I can bring it to the to the land use committee and see what you guys think, and then we put our ducks in a line if we decide to go further with it for a county permit.
Okay. Just for everyone here again, we are not voting on support or not support of a project as a group. We're just trying to give the owners, the Hedgecocks and Mr. Hurley, an idea of or concerns we may have of such a project. And I can definitely understand why before they go ahead and put their hard money down, then bring it back to land use as a real permit, and then for us to shut it down, and then possibly them losing their money. I think it's a valid request, and so we're just going to kind of open this up to the members, and let them make their comments or concerns, and let anything be known to them. Lindy, I see you have your hand up.
Thank you. I've gone down and looked at the site a couple times, and it's an interesting kind of wedge of property there with the whatever 7 houses on it. To me, that the garage, it already has a garage for one thing in the existing house. The garage and the music studio on top completely changed the flavor of the neighborhood. They then kind of create another huge blockage of open view as you drive up and down the street. I think for my taste, it's a little bit too large, and maybe if it does go forward, the design should include the setback, which is something we've talked about with the community plan, was the upper story would go back so many feet, 6 feet, to give, it's a visual that doesn't make it feel like a big block of, it's almost like a wall that blocks out the other sides of both houses. They have the property in the front, whereas the other houses are up front and don't have as much space in their backyards either. But and then I see no drawings, but I want to know if there's any plumbing to be put in there. There should be no plumbing if it's a garage and a music studio, since there's no design of anything in it. So those are my 2 concerns. I just think it's too large for the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you, Lindy. Becky, I seen you cut your hand up.
Okay, right. I kind of agree with Lindy in that the size of the garage and the music studio, it looked like it was larger than the existing house. My question was, it shows that the existing garage, which looks like it's either a 1.5 car garage. What does that turn into? It has windows, like it's a bedroom or something that I didn't see anything saying what that was going to be.
I'm a software engineer, so it's going to be an office for me to write software in.
He works from home.
I work from home.
Okay. Thank you.
Patrick, I see you've got your hand up. Go ahead.
Okay, well, just as long as the applicants are aware of the Coastal Commission's position on ADUs, guest houses, additional bedrooms, bathrooms. So as long as there's no water elements being used or added onto it, then all the other issues, I think, are things that need to be dealt with also, but that would be my main concern also. So when you come back with your original or your final plan that you're presenting to us, those would be issues that I would be looking at.
Excellent, yes.
Okay, Becky, I see you've got your hand up again.
Yeah, and I had a question. It looked like you purchased the property in May of this year.
Yes.
And when you purchased it, were you made aware of the water situation in our town and that
Oh, yeah.
that we've been on critical overdraft for decades?
Yes.
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
Okay, because
I'm
a number of
actually-
people. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually grew up in Cambria. So
Okay.
I'm very much aware of water issues. As
Okay.
you're aware, Cambria is almost in worse condition than Los Osos is. So
Right.
it was.
Right.
It's always been a concern of mine. Water is always the big issue for especially Los Osos.
Yeah, that's good to know, because a lot of people aren't told at all about the
Yeah.
water situation, and they buy in and then go, wow, I had no idea.
Of course.
We have no intention at all of doing any kind of rental. It's the 2 of us. We have, between us, we have 5 children across the country.
Yeah.
but we have no intention to put it on a market. Or anything.
Well, and I think it's cool. Music studio. My son's a musician himself, so
And I actually, when I lived down here, I played music for a living down here. And I'm reestablishing some of those old relationships, and I'd like to be able to host a place where I can host, friends to sit around and play music and enjoy ourselves, and practice for areas that we'd like to move out into the local area and contribute to the entertainment industry. So.
yeah. One more question was, have you talked to your neighbors on either side about it?
Yes, we know our neighbors
Okay.
very well. Yeah. Margaret and John behind here. We have
Right.
Susan and Larry over there, and we have Glinda and Randall in front of us. So.
Right.
Well,
So my
we
parents-
know them as well as we can for being here. 3
Well,
months.
right. My parents owned and built that gray house across from you that's for sale again.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I
there on
was
the
curious about
interesting.
that.
Yeah, that was a family home for a long time.
Oh,
So
lovely.
it's a nice spot.
Yes, it is.
Did you know your house used to be painted silver?
We did originally when we were looking at the pictures on the before it actually came up for sale. It was an interesting. There were interesting pictures on Google.
It was supposed to keep aliens or something away. So
I see.
Hey, it worked.
yeah, it did. Haven't been any so far.
Lindy, I see you've got your hand up again.
Yeah, I just, it's listed as 500 square feet. Is that just the music studio, or is it 250? The garages and the music studio are 500 square feet together?
I don't think they include the garage in the square footage, so it would be the music studio. But I think Bill probably knows the numbers more than I do.
Because, and then I just thought it was a little odd that you'd have all these patios and stairways in between. I wonder if pushing it back closer to the house or making it a little smaller wouldn't impact the neighborhood visuals as much. Just, again, my suggestion is that the upper floor be set back a little bit. It's a visual architectural,
I see.
but that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to check. Robin, do you have any comments or anything you?
Well, thanks, Larry. Since you asked, I just think the footprint is a little large for a garage. I appreciate that in the original plan back when was for an ADU, and then you would need that more of a square footage, to house a kitchenette and whatever else would be with the ADU. And typically 2-car garages don't go out, 30 whatever feet that this structure is going to have. So ideally, I'd like to see it more of a size of a typical garage, like going out maybe 22 feet, instead of that 30 whatever. But that's that for me, not necessarily a deal breaker, just what I think. And that would also, because your intention is to stay there, but life changes, and you might sell the house, and the next person could be the ones to convert that to an ADU. And once the structure's there and the building inspectors are gone, it's that much easier to do the conversion. But we're just giving opinions here, not taking a vote.
One of the reasons the depth of the garage, and one of the things that I do have is I do have quite a bit of musical equipment, and so to play, as we say, gigs in larger environments, I have to have that equipment, and so it would be storage for that is the extra room. But yes, I completely understand the concern.
Yeah, and I just had a comment, whoever was mentioning about why it was away from the house. My parents had a semi-engineered septic, and yours was an old engineered septic. So that's separated from the front of the house, right? Where that cinder block wall is.
Very much
right. So
yeah.
So whoever asked that's the reason why, is that it's not pushed up against the house.
Yeah.
The engineered septic.
I think attaching it to the house would be very difficult.
Yeah, you'd have to, it's up.
It would trigger sprinklers and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Julie, would you like to chime in on this?
Well, I'm a musician, but I'm a
Yay.
singer, so I just carry a microphone and I don't have to have a road crew like you roadies. I know how much equipment you could actually have to store. I'm not as concerned, maybe with some of the size issues that people have raised. Some of the paint colors and those kinds of things, you can kind of camouflage how large things are. Some landscape, different things. So I'm fine with it.
Okay, thank you, Julie. Any other comments from any committee members? Again, as long as there's no added water use, I support the project. I think people have a right to remodel their houses, and as long as they do it to within code with the right setbacks and the right height limit and all this, I think they should go ahead. When I bought my first house here in Los Osos, it was small. If I still had it now, it'd probably have a second story on it, So that's my 2 cents on it. Bill, does that kind of answer a lot of your questions on this project?
Yeah, I think everything is all the concerns people had. The square footage, the footprints. There are percentage requirements that the county has, and heck, if my clients need another 10% or want to get another 10% if it's allowable, I think it's on my obligation to try to put it together for them, as long as it's within the legal parameters of the land use ordinances. Could it be shrunk down? Sure, but this is why we put it together the way we did.
Okay.
Can I say something? The aesthetics are super important to us. So it is important because this is our forever home, and that when you're walking down Mitchell, that it's going to be beautiful. It's our intention. So if we have to downsize a little or push things back, or, I'm really looking forward to the plantings, and I've got neighbors who I've got to, who are just wonderful gardeners to help me with that. So the looks are really important to us too.
Good. Well, thank you very much for giving your 2 cents worth for this. I think Bill's got kind of an idea of where to go with it now. Then you guys can sit and talk. And hopefully we'll see this thing come back to us as a project with plans and everything else. And we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Okay, Bill, the second project.
Yep. Brian and Vicki Brown over on Nancy Avenue, 1921, I believe.
Yeah, I could just say a couple words. We bought our small house about 10 years ago, and now we're getting close to retirement age. We wanted to add a little bit of space so we could move up here permanently. And that is what's behind the proposed project that we have here. There's no new water features, no new bedrooms. It's just expansion of current space and adding an office.
If you're saying something, you're coming in a little broken.
Okay, I'm sorry. My wife just told me that the office is actually a second bedroom. So maybe that's correct.
Right, which is existing.
Okay. So there's no new bedrooms that are being added.
Okay. Anybody, any committee members have any questions or for these folks?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Patrick.
So you're saying you're just increasing the size of the residence you already have now. One of the bedrooms is going to be increased in size a little bit, but there's not going to be any new water units or anything like that, and no additional bedrooms, just the increase in size. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct, Patrick.
Okay. I don't have any problems. It'd be interesting to see your plans when they come out.
Any other committee member? Lindy, I see you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I could not access the whatever was presented, so I guess I'm just gonna write it through, and when it comes back to us, then I'll have some comments if I get to see anything. So it's
Okay.
not on the website.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the issues we have. Lindy, I will try to send them directly to you, the plans that were given to me, but I totally understand where you're coming from and our problem that we're having with our website. Other committee members, Robin.
Well, I was just going to comment on the plans because they had been on the website. I did see them earlier. They're not on there anymore, but yeah, add that to the list of, you can say disappearing plans.
Okay.
But I thought they
Julie?
looked nice.
Okay.
I thought it was a nice remodel expansion.
Oh, thank you. It's exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
Julie, do you have any comments or anything?
I went back to the original email that you sent the drawings in, and I think they're attractive as well. Totally fine.
Okay. There we go. And again, as I said on this project, as the last project, remodeling a house is okay.
Hard on a marriage. Watch out.
Oh,
They say. Really
yeah.
hard.
And so again, if it was a project on paper and stuff, I would definitely support this project as, again, not adding any more water use, just getting a little more elbow room.
Just a little more elbow room.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the house, but it sort of looks like a shotgun house. Are you familiar with that style? It's long and narrow. It sort of looks like a train car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky, yeah.
So we're just adding, I think, around 500 square feet, if that in the end. You're right, just a little bit more elbow room.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing it when it comes out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. And Bill, you're okay? You understand?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Feedback
fine.
on that? Looks like both of these look fairly good to us.
Well, we'll see if we can get them to the next phase here.
Okay.
I appreciate the preliminary effort because it's a lot of money people put out. And if you can get just a little bit of daylight coming in, it helps the whole process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, folks, I'm going to leave.
Okay.
Yep,
Thank you, Bill.
Mr. Hurley.
Okay.
Okay. So any closing comments or anything from members of the committee, besides for getting our webpage straightened out and being able to find documents and stuff? Lindy, I see you got a hand up.
So again, I'm just trying to ask, this is a completely new process that we're looking at. Are we going to be able to differentiate and sort of establish kind of what our role is in this, or is this kind of what it will be, is just chit chatting and generalizing our feelings?
If someone, and I'll put it out to our whole committee here. I think if a person or, you know, a project has a project, an idea for a project, and wanted to bring it out to the public, I think this is a perfectly good venue to do it. Is it going to be the new standard? I doubt it. You know,
It's the third one we've seen.
Huh?
It's the third one or fourth one now that we've seen. So I'm just questioning because
No,
it is
everything
different.
else. Which other ones have we had talked about without an actual permit?
The Hope's project. We didn't see anything until it was already done. And then we're asked to comment on it, and
We got
these
that.
two?
We did not have that beforehand. We got that in the permit stage. It was a work in progress. You know,
It had
Okay,
info hold. Sometimes it's, I think the question is, when a project's on info hold, do you still want to hear it? Because you did reject one of the Cabrillo Estates projects because it was on info hold, or put it off a month. And then, but most of these are on info hold when the referrals come in, because there's you know, not everybody's got it all together all at once. So I think that's what the difference is versus what Bill Hurley just brought forward is, you know, real preliminary before they even go to file their permit.
I agree, Julie. And, you know, I think this was beneficial for both of the Hurley and the applicants that were involved in this. I don't think it'll become a standard of what we're doing, but, you know, as long as the county's not doing their full job as far as really informing all applicants of what the possibilities are and the downfalls, and they're just taking their money, encourage them to move on, and then bringing it to us when, you know, there's things in there that are definitely going to be issues. This might be a good forum to just kind of air things out before it gets to that point. And applicants spend a lot of money doing things that the county's requiring them to do.
I agree with that. And I'm just trying to establish, because in the past, I've been on land use for so many years, I've never seen anything that wasn't already a permit application that we were asked to approve. So I just wanted to make sure it's differentiated, and I think it's a good idea.
okay. Becky, I see you've got your hand up.
And she's muted.
Unmute. There we go. Sorry. I muted myself because I'm out here along the trail in my driveway. Because I have barking dogs in the house. You know, I think it's a good idea. I mean, why should people waste their money beforehand and then get disappointed when they find out things that maybe they didn't know ahead of time? So I agree, it's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, shall we have a motion to adjourn?
Okay.
I make the
Patrick
motion
has
to
something to
adjourn.
say. Okay,
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? There we go.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. I will keep
Okay.
everyone posted as progress comes along on our webpage and getting information out.
Yeah,
And a question, are we going to have like any kind of a meeting, a powwow to bring all this forward, or do we have to start writing everything down and sending it to God knows who? I don't even know who the webmaster is. Is that Tom and Krista?
Kristen,
Yeah.
Kristen,
Well, it's supposed to be Christian right
Kristen.
now. Yeah.
right.
But anyway, Lindy, I'll keep you posted on what's going on.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
And Lindy, let's, you and I get in touch. I'll call you and we can talk about your concern.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right, thank you.
and Larry, don't forget to log out of the,
I think somebody else has to do that because I actually didn't
Okay.
log in. But
okay,
I
so
will try.
whoever needs to do that,
Yes.
just a
yes,
reminder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Night.